They're building Code 6 homes that aren't just for demonstration. Code 6 is the most sustainable, almost like a passive house. They're not just demonstrations. People are living in them, and they're working. And working with these guys has made me touch hundreds of thousands of people that working with the larger organisations that I've been with before hasn't really. Working with RS Components, really fascinating business, massive, massive business. And I'm helping them save money, but I'm also helping them reposition themselves. RS Components, they're an online retailer of electronic bits. It's not going to change the world, is it? But they can. There's a whole load of stuff kicking off about conflict materials. We all hear about peak resource use. All of these things are changing the way we live and changing the way we do business. And if we're going to maintain a manufacturing base in this country, we need to be able to get hold of these raw materials. It isn't just about their scarcity, it's about the geopolitics of these things. Who controls them? So working with this company to move them away from being radio spares through being, that's what RS stands for, reliable suppliers, to being responsible suppliers, changing the way they look and the way they feel and how it feels to be in that business. This is really quite deep culture change, a massive challenge, but you know, I love it. I bloody love it. I'm working on brand with lots of companies. And when I say brand, a lot of people just think logo. Brand's about your ID, it's about the tone of voice, but more importantly for me, it's about the things that you do. It isn't just about the way you tell the story of the things that you do. If the things that you do are wrong, your brand will never be good. Never. So I'm trying to work back up to change the way that people do what they do. You have to have a very authentic attitude within your business. And I want to start putting businesses right. Not saving carbon, that's great. Not saving money, not saving water, but putting businesses right, organisations right. And brand's really interesting. You can't control it. Adidas are a really fascinating brand. They've got some great product, they've got some great celebrity relationships. David Beckham's an interesting one. Snoop Dogg and some of the rappers, also interesting for different reasons. They hit numerous people. All of that money, all of that good stuff gets wiped out when they get a photograph like that from the riots, because that brand is now associated with, and I don't make it any better, do I, by repeating it to millions of people on the web. But you can't control where your brand appears, but you can make great products. If you start with the thing that you do, if you do astonishing things, then your brand is safe. If you don't do astonishing things and try and persuade people that you do, then your brand is not safe. And that's what we need to get to. And I don't, you know, brands are very, there's some brand agencies in the audience, I know there is. It's a very fluffy or intangible part of your company worth, but it's really bloody important, really important. And we need to start at the beginning and make great stuff, things that you're proud of. David Hyatt calls it your rocking chair moment, when you're at the end of your life and you sit back and you think, am I proud of what I did? You're rocking away there. Am I proud of what I did? Don't put your fingers under the rockers of a rocking chair. I learned that. Really, really hurts. Really hurts. And make sure there's no cats around. Are you proud of what you've done? Are you really proud of what you've done? And I listened to Caroline this morning, and it almost brought tears to my eyes. I've got 4 children, completely unsustainable, I know. And we had awful. I say we. I just sat and watched. My wife had very difficult labours for the first 3, then a beautiful labour for the 3rd one. No pain, 2 hours, all controllable. But in the middle of this labour, I'm at the front end. I'm not happy down the business end in this thing. I'm at the front end, and she's looking at me, and she reaches to grab hold of my leg, and she misses. Right. And she gets me by the testicles quite harshly. And I don't know if there's an African tribe, I don't know if you've heard this story, that tie a twine from the expectant mother to the father in the other room, round his doings, and when she's in pain, it pulls his, so he shares the pain with her, right? It's true. I've heard this story. I believe it because Anita Roddick told it. That's not a name dropping. I was in the audience, and I know exactly what that individual felt like, because I was stood, and every time she had a contraction, she gave him undergarments a squeeze. Agony, agony. But I sat and watched Caroline. Sorry, I'm a bit drifty. I sat and watched Caroline, and I just thought, you're making a difference. I'm still not making enough of a difference. And I think we can all ask ourselves that question. I mean, that's what this is all about, isn't it? Anyway, I've started doing some really fascinating work with schools. I like kids. I couldn't eat a whole one, I've got to say. I've got 4, but sometimes I fail to see the creativity and the enterprise that is brimming from these little adults, because we see them as kids, not as little adults. So I've started doing some really interesting work with some schools. I'm working with a school in Derbyshire called Hope Valley, which is, where do you live? I live in Hope. Yes, I'm moving there. It's beautiful. And Hope Valley is a really creative school. Hope Valley has a problem teaching English and maths because the kids are so creative that they don't calm down for those subjects. They want to get straight on to art and design. They're an amazing school. So we're working with them. Oops, sorry, I've flipped on too far. We're working with them to connect older people with younger adults. This is a fascinating piece of work. Everyone's got an older adult. Everyone's got a grandma, a granddad, auntie, uncle, whatever it is. But they don't talk to them. So we brought a load of these people in. I've not got the video. It wouldn't work. We brought 3 or 4 of these older people in to talk to the young kids and vice versa. Because older people are nervous of young kids as well, because they hang around in hoods, mainly wearing Adidas. Being really sinister. No, they're not at all. They're lovely. Kids are lovely, but they do wear hoods, don't they? So we brought these older adults in, and we had some fantastic questions. What's it like to live? You know, have you heard of the internet? Yeah, I do all my shopping on it. Can you use a mobile phone? Yeah, we've got an iPhone and I've got a Nokia. Which one do you like? Are you able to get up the stairs? Of course I'm able to get up the bloody stairs. Really, really interesting, fascinating stuff. One of the kids, I ate Jamie Oliver. He stole my chips. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Another one. Old people, they wear trainers with smart clothes. What's that all about? It's what they said. It's what the kids said. And the older adults are there to say, well, because they're comfortable. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought about that. They're comfortable. Well, just don't wear your smart clothes. Have you heard of eBay? It's like an online jumble sale. Brilliant. It is. It's like an online jumble sale. I visit my granddad, but I don't really talk to him. So I said, the next question is, why do you visit him? Well, he gives me £1. Really interesting. So I got these people talking, these kids talking to these older adults. Oh, one of the older adults said, a really amazing guy, absolutely astonishing, 76, and his parents only died last year. Whoa, he's got good genes. They weren't Hyatt genes, but they were good genes. And he said, I walk 7 miles a day, and my problem is I can't persuade old people that they're not old. They retire at 60, they sit down, they watch the telly, and they're old. They're old up there, that's all. And he was brilliant. He's apart from Steve Edge, he's my second hero. And we had some amazing characters, really brilliant, lively older people. And we came up with 3 ideas, interestingly, reflecting on this morning. The first idea was to come up with a health passport on a USB key. So when you go abroad and you've forgotten your medicine, you don't have to go through all the palaver of a checkup. You just say, this is my health passport. Last prescription was for warfarin, rat poison. So I've got a blood thinning problem, give me the warfarin. You don't have to go through any of the rubbish. And it's about medical records, really interesting. Supermarket sat-nav. Some of the older folks were saying, they move stuff in the supermarket. We don't know where we're going. And irritatingly, as we were developing this, Tesco launched a news item that they were going to do the same thing, which they then, I don't think they did in the end. And a friends and family helpline, which I think was pretty rubbish, to be fair. But apart from that, these 2 were great. And this one got through to the national final. That idea went through to the national final. So we all went down to London. They received the best feedback. They did the flash animation, the video, the mock-ups, everything themselves. It was the best idea, but they didn't win because it wasn't within their scope to deliver. No shit, Sherlock. How can they deliver that? That relies on a third party. So they've done really, really well, and they've had loads of press, conferences around the world, design council case studies. I did well out of it. I got asked to go and do an inspirational presentation, which caused my wife to laugh with mirth for about a week. So she says, the kids, Mark, Dad's going to read you a story tonight. It'll be really inspirational. I had a week of this. But I loved it. They loved it, not my kids, the kids there. They loved it. So I'm changing what I do again. So I don't want to do bad things a bit better. I want to do great things with business. But more importantly, I want to do brilliant things with kids. That's what I want to do. I don't quite know how to do it yet, but I'm not going to stop until I do it. And I like change. I love change. Now, I found a really simple flowchart. You may have seen it before, and I apologise if you haven't, that allows you to work out if you need to change. And this is your small do, okay? It's a really simple flowchart. Are you happy? No. Do you want to be happy? No. Keep doing whatever you're doing. Are you happy? No. Do you want to be happy? Yes. Change something. That's not hard, is it? So that's your small do. I want you to go away and just to work out where you're sitting now. I think we can probably most of us probably say we're either there or we're happy. Aren't we? One or the other. But do it before you get any older. Because when does the future start? It starts now, and we've got to get cracking on it. The thing about the future is it happens really, really quickly. I read a book recently, so I'm almost finished now, so those of you worrying about time. It talked about the 7 ages of man, woman, okay? And it kind of splits our ages into 7 decades. So we'll probably go to 8 ages. And then it gives a decade a day of the week. Right? These are mine. And they are that small. 1 day for each decade. Where are you? Okay, so I'm 43. So for me, it's just before lunch on Friday. I've only got a week. I am hoping for a bank holiday weekend. But I've only got a week. Shit. I've got to get... That made me feel sick, actually, when I read that in the book. I was like, oh, don't like that very much. When you die, you're not going to be remembered for doing great stuff in business, for selling briefcases, for having the best turnover shop in the street. You're not going to be remembered for that. You're going to be remembered for the lives that you touch and the change that you make. And I've got a little motto. I've got 2 or 3, actually. But this one, if it's not broken, break it. Start again. I love it. It's not broken. It's working really well. I don't care. Change it. You can do it better. My second motto is life's too short for boring shoes. It is. And my third motto, never wear hats backwards, ever. Unless you're American, there's no need for it. Thank you.